So now that I've gotten into the kind of niche aspect of hitting the gym, I'll get into more of the technical stuff right now. Okay, so welcome to the gym. First and foremost, my name is Dinnerman. Basically, whatever, whatever I believe, I feel like, and what my opinion is about the gym, I'm about to state right now the technical ish because I already did a whole video about the philosophical part, which that's more important than whatever I'm about to talk about right now. So, number one, like everybody's telling you, you either need to find your maintenance calories. That's I feel like that's one of the more important stuff. First of all, you need to find like a weight, you need to find what your weight is. Like you need to find where you're at. You don't have to get an exact number, because I've never been the type to be like, oh, exactly, this something like that, because the weights differ and they're never really accurate. Even the more high tech ones like hydro, where they go underwater and stuff like that. But first you have to find out where you're at. So you're either like when I was working out, I was skinny. Like that was just my genetic makeup. I was very skinny, and my metabolism was pretty fast because of cross country, and because I had fast metabolism in general. So everything I ate, like it was just I couldn't get big, which is a lie if you believe that. So I was basically in between skinny and skinny fat, right? Okay, there's three options, right? There's skinny fat, and then there's fat or obese, right? Now, when you're in skinny fat to obese, you're gonna realize some certain things that are gonna happen, right? This is really true, right? Because I got friends who told me this previously, right? When you're at those levels, you're gonna get bullied, bro. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're gonna get called out. The people are gonna talk about you, and it's not gonna be like the nicest stuff. Because listen, Nipsey Hussle said this. You rather be at war with the world, with peace with yourself, than with peace with the world and war at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, the world gonna hate everybody. Hell, the world was hating on this Kai Cenat for reading. G. Like he's trying to be more literate with his vocabulary. Like hell, like God forbid he doesn't want to say, oh, let's go chat this, like God forbid that that motherfucker want to try to like be like intelligently literate. Like God forbid we want to read a book. God forbid, bro. God forbid. But like I said, I'd rather be at war with the world and at peace with myself than be at war with myself and peace with the world. That's just ridiculous. All right. So when you're at those levels, you're gonna get called certain things. You know what I'm saying? Certain things are gonna be said. Certain things are gonna be happening. Right. Now we're gonna go to the motivation aspect and a little bit more of the technical stuff before that. Okay. So the technical stuff, right? Number one, you're gonna realize the technical stuff. You're gonna realize that you're at the best place to be. Now you're gonna hear this thing called newbie gates, right? Imagine, I'll give you the anime aspect. Imagine you're Naruto Uzumaki, right? Naruto Uzumaki is from the show called Naruto, right? He had the nine-tailed fox sealed with him, right? So, and plus he's from the Uzumaki clan, so he has a lot of chakra, right? On top of the nine tails. So you realize that, okay, so Naruto's like, oh, I suck at some of this stuff, right? But then he started like figuring out what he can do. Like he could do shadow clones, which he spammed the hell out of that. But he made what he was do. So that's what you have to do as well. When you're skinny fat, what you need to do, or when you're skinny or skinny fat, you need to, more so when you're skinny. When you're skinny, you have to bulk, right? If that's what you want to do, right? Because sometimes when we are skinny, like I would say, like do this if you want a certain physique. Because I think more people are just like, oh, you have to bulk up to be aesthetically pleasing, but like, you're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea always. You gotta be, like I said, you gotta be at peace with yourself. So if you're at the level like, oh, if I wanna get like bigger and stop getting bullied and this and the third, right? So what you wanna do is if you're skinny, you wanna bulk. So I would say 300 to 500 calories above your maintenance. Which if you weighed, after you find out you're kind of weighed, kind of thing, you're gonna go to calculator.net. And then from calculator.net, like everybody's saying, it's free, it's online. If you have a phone or have a device, or even go to a computer, print that thing out, like there is no excuse at that point. The library is free. Come on now. Like I think at the library I'm at sometimes it's like $1.25 or 25 cents at general. Wait, no, it's 75 cents. Excuse me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 75 cents. But after you find that, you type in your age, you type in your age, your weight, your height. And then you type in, are you going to try to weight gain, or you're trying to, you know, lose? Because it's going to be calorie surplus, like Superman, surplus, you're going to go up for if you're trying to gain weight, or it's going to be calorie deficit, which deficit sounds like defeat, which means you're going down, right? So you're going to go down in weight, which if you're cutting or you're trying to get from your bulk down to like a shredded physique, you know? So if you're skinny, what you're going to do is you're going to go, in my opinion, you're going to go, and based on your physique also, but if you're going to go, basically, you're going to do the 300 to 500, right? You're going to see how you feel, right? Always see how you feel when you're doing this, because eventually your body's going to feel a little different, like mentally and everything else. All right? Then after you do that, you're going to get to your certain weight, which your certain weight could be like approximately, I don't really know, but you want to get to a certain weight. All right, certain weight for your physique, whatever your weight is. If you don't care about the weight, which I didn't really care, like that could be also what you do. Now, if you are fat, you have to do the opposite. You have to go calorie deficit. That way, you can see, you know, because what you're trying to ultimately do is you're trying to get to your base form. You know, okay. I try to think of that like that. Like imagine if you're skinny, you're basically at your base form. I call it the base form. Skinny fat is basically like, okay, I'll put it this way. Base form, Goku. Then you have, base form Goku is basically skinny. And then you have skinny fat, that is basically kid Goku. And then you have obese or fat, that's basically Majin Buu. But like I said, those comparisons matter, because as you go down from Majin Buu, Kid Buu is still a menace, right? So if you keep going down, you could be Kid Buu and still have that kind of muscle mass, because a lot of times, a lot of muscle is still hidden under the fat. So if you cut down really good, hell, you may not even need to like bulk up again. It just depends on your body and depends on your goals. Say, now with skinny, it's the same thing. If you want to keep your abs and stay lean and stay like running and all that sort of stuff, it just depends on your goals specifically. Now, as far as exercises goes, what I like to do is, me personally, I like to do both calisthenics and weightlifting. Like weightlifting, if you want to be, weightlifting is more like the aesthetical, like societal, like kind of thing, where it's basically like, oh, weights, we lift heavy weights, 3 to 10 reps, and then you kind of go off of that. Which I'll provide more information on basically the people I kind of watch a little bit on the weightlifting aspect. And then from calisthenics is you can do anywhere, which I feel like that's more viable, because a lot of times people, like I said, they don't have all that kind of information. You know what I'm saying? Which information is information if you seek for it, or information is there if you seek for it. But like I said, it's more viable. Like not everyone's gonna have the money to afford, you know, a gym membership. But like I said, no excuses. There are parks, you can do push-ups, sit-ups, you can put weights in your bag, vice versa. I've seen people done it. You've seen me do it. Like, there's no excuses. But those are the things you might want to do. Now you have to realize you have to build your my character, like I said in the previous videos. You have to build your my character. Now, do you want to be super strong? Like, I'll give you Dragon Ball Z again. If you want to be super strong like Broly, right? Okay, you want to be Broly type. So that's Chris Bumstead, Ronnie Coleman, those type of people. If you want to be natural about it, you can be natural about it. We're going to encourage that. I'm not going to talk about DLC. We're going to be natural about it. So if you want to be natural about it, you go that route. You get into more powerlifting type of stuff. You can do the calisthenics on the side, but you mainly want to do the powerlifting stuff, or powerlifting, weightlifting, those type of genres in the fitness industry. I don't know if I'm using the proper term, but I'm using genres as like a kind of like an objective word. If you find the other word, I appreciate you, because I'm always trying to. Like, ooh, the video, no. But anyways, my bad. This table's bad. But anyways, after that, if you want to go like Vegeta, I would say Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, not the Super Vegeta, right? That would be more Coleman. The Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and then the Super Saiyan 2, or the Goku or Vegeta, basically. That would be kind of like the aesthetic physique, you know what I'm saying? That would be more calisthenics, because Goku and Vegeta, they do calisthenics every day, this, that, and third, and vice versa. You know, they would do calisthenics, say weightlifting. Then what they would do is they would add weights to the weight to the calisthenics, and that would be killer. Do keep in mind, weighted calisthenics, those are sleepers. Those sleepers, you're not gonna see everybody do those in the gym, but they're sleepers. They really blew up my chest. I'll put pictures here and here, but like, or in the description, or even on the thumbnail. But like, those are killer, bro. But yeah, those are 3 things I feel like, and you just have to remain consistent. A lot of the times it's just consistency, and I have made a video about what you need to do, and there's no excuses in that. If you are very consistent in whatever you try to do, you will achieve the goal you set. You just have to have a certain mindset and a certain ability to say, hey, I'm gonna get there regardless. If you have to walk, if you have to take the bus, the train, get a friend from the ride, or vice versa. And if you have to do it alone, then do it alone. And then afterwards, you'll feel amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of times I'd be seeing these fitness influencers, like I said in the last video, they just be talking a lot about like, oh, you'll never be happy after you get physique. You'll always have body dysmorphia, which body dysmorphia, like, it's not only just like under eating, overeating. It's basically or on that spectrum. It's not basically those extremes. It could be also that, hey, I've achieved something and I felt like still insecure. So the third thing I want to talk about is just like having security within yourself, or having like self-love to be like, hey, I've done this. This is who I am. This is what I look like now, and I'm proud of myself for making that change, and I'm proud of myself for making that kind of thing. And even if you, and like I said, if you don't take the DLC option, you're gonna feel 10 times greater, because you're gonna know like, hey, if I eat this, hey, I'm gonna be able to get it back. Now, if you're taking like DLC stuff, you're gonna be like, oh, well, I have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people think like, oh, I got to track my macros and stuff. Like, you do have to do that if you're doing DLC, in my opinion. But if you don't do DLC and you do the progress and you get up to that point, then you can start taking liberties. That's based on your mindset. I don't really take all those liberties like that. Like right now I'm doing 80-20, which is like 80% your diet. That's what I'm gonna get to right now. 80% of your diet is clean and 20% is like junk. But like I said, I could switch on to 90-10 like I did before, which I did before for like, I think, a couple years. So, you know, it's just basically on that kind of point. Now, diet, it differs for everybody. Some of us are eating, some of us are carnivores, some of us are like omnivores, but we're all omnivores. But like I said, some people just like meat or just plants and stuff. I can't be vegan, but I can't be vegan. Carnivore, I might try it, but that's a lot. I like cheese. I like cheese and quesadillas and birria, but off topic. But yeah, for diet, you just want to just eat clean. Like look, you can look it up on YouTube. I'm not gonna give you the specifics and be like, this statistical thing, because like a lot of times when you give people statistics and give people like, you know, the data changes, you know. So I'm just gonna say this and verbatim, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is, like I said, you gotta do your own research as well. You gotta do, like, I think mainly I feel better when I eat whole foods, like, you know, potato, banana, like stuff that comes from the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's not like processed, like, you know, mac and cheese and pasta. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes bread. But, you know, like I say, I feel like if it comes from the earth, I feel like that's when, you know, the stuff you got. You know, like if it don't come from the earth, then don't be eating it like that. I'm talking about fried chicken, cake. If it's man-made like that, cake or like soda, this, that, and the third, don't be eating all that. And remember, follow the rule that you want for yourself. If you want to be more social and have more of a social life, because I know sometimes people are like, oh, I can't have a social life because of the gym and because I want to change. If you don't have the type of friends that, like, you know, support you like that, I'm sorry if you're doing all that, but you'll get the more friends and more support when you develop yourself. Like I said, I'll make probably more videos about that later on. But if you want to do all that, I would say first and foremost, kind of adjust yourself to the 80-20, because that's the basis of it. Like the 80-20, like, so that would mean from Monday to Friday, that would be business days, you eat clean, whole foods, and that's the third, being the calorie surplus or calorie deficit, hitting the gym, like regardless of the time. I would say for newbie gains, I would say I remember I was saying like 3 to 4 times. Yeah, I was saying 3 to 4 times, but then eventually after like the third week, I was like, I need up it to 6 because that's my mentality. But like I said, mentalities differ, so I would say like 3 to 4, and then just eat clean for those business days. Prioritize your rest. Make sure you stretch, guys, and do the cardio when you're on the cut. This ain't Samsung, but cardio is important, brother. Heart health, brother. Come on now. But yeah, once you start, if you have a different mindset, then you can do the 90-10. That way, you can just eat from Monday to Saturday. You eat clean, and then that 10% is Sunday, which basically Sunday you can just go balls out. Like that's what I'm gonna do when I'm getting on this cut. I'm gonna do like Monday to Saturday, eat clean, and then to Sunday, what you're gonna do? What I'm doing is basically I'm ball out. I'm gonna eat a Krispy Kreme. Yeah, that's my day when I go with my boys and with the girls I'm vibing out with, and vice versa. So. And that's the day when like you can be like, oh, Paris, we gotta eat food. We gonna eat some food, man. Texas Roadhouse type shit. but you get what I'm saying. But those are the kind of things I want to do. Now I understand I didn't give you guys a lot of specifics and stuff like that. I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of links because I feel like I would like that for myself as well. But I feel like it's more important that I give you my opinion more than I give you like the same BS that everybody else gives, because like it's the same BS. It's the same BS as everybody else. No one's gonna listen, so let me try something different, But yeah, that's the technical stuff. Thank you guys for your time. I know I'm looking handsome right now, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, y'all gonna be looking handsome too, bro. And y'all. Yeah, I can't wait to see y'all transformations though. I'm thinking something something funky because I'm hungry, but you know what I'm saying. Y'all take care. God bless. Right on.